the stars align within, clearing paths my soul begins to spin. Radiant light in every nerve and core. In this harmony, my spirit's restored.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Crab and Goat Show. It is Monday, April 7th, 2025. Welcome everybody to all our friends watching us on Facebook and LinkedIn. Thank you for watching. If you don't mind sharing this on your page. If you're watching us on YouTube, scroll down, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know every time there's a new episode on the air. And if you're watching us on Instagram, we're watching, making sure that we keep up with your comments, and you can watch us on my page or my co-host. He's over here, right there. Hey, bud.
Hello. Happy Monday. Here we are once again. We got to stop meeting like this. Oh, wait.
You know, we're going to start talking.
Yeah, you know. How are you? I know we were just catching up a little bit, but how's life been treating you since our last show a couple weeks ago?
You know, things were good. For those of you that follow us, I was in DC for what it's called AIDS Watch, and it is where we get to travel to DC and talk to representatives, congressmen, what am I calling? Legislators, yeah. And I was like, who are they? Who are we talking to? So we get to talk to all these folks about what's going on in HIV. And why are you not updating? Sorry, I'm trying to update the Instagram so I can watch people commenting and I can't get it to update. Live TV, folks. So we get a chance to go talk to folks in power about funding. For those of you that don't know, we're not going to get political about it, but just an FYI, funding for cancer and HIV research has been cut. And those are two of the things that I work for in my advocacy. So with that money cut, my salary is cut and the amount of work that we do is cut and the people that we can reach gets cut. And so everything gets cut and it just lowers the amount. It does not lower, let me say this, it does not lower the quality of work that we do because we still do 100%. But it lowers the quantity of work that we can do because of me. So we were in Washington, D.C. talking to these folks. We don't get to really talk to them. We talk to the aides. But Dave Min, who's from here in California, from here in Southern California, he did show up. He rides a scooter thing, a bike or something. And he pulled up as we were outside talking to his aide, and he came out and talked to us. And I have a picture with him. I'll share it. I'll probably share those pictures on Wednesday at the Kristen and Daniel show so you guys can watch. But it feels good to be able to do something for my community and go out there and talk to them. So I think that's why I'm a little drained today because I haven't recouped from.
That's a lot.
It was 5 days in DC and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, definitely. How are you doing?
So cool. I want to say first, like, that is amazing to be, in the room and have your voice heard in that way, and the breadth of experience that you bring, not from your own experiences, but also from all the advocacy work that you do. And so I feel like as an advocacy person, that was probably one of the most exciting, fulfilling things to be able to do, to have your voice heard even more so. And I know for you, being the person that you are, you take it very seriously, and as you should, and all the things that you've experienced and the ways that you have advocated. So that's huge. And of course, I'll always talk to the astrology, and when you ask me how I'm doing, I'll always speak to the astrology as well too. But we really are coming into now, like literally today, Mercury's gone direct, and so we can really start moving forward. And all of the things we've been wanting to create, all of those seeds we've been planting, like now is the time for those to start sprouting. That we've already planted those seeds, we've watered it, and so that's so cool to hear for you. And then of course on the world stage, again, we're not going to get too political about it, but there have been, all of the hands-off protests that have been happening, that have been really, I think, showing people how many people are out there in that vein, and want reasonable, want things to be occurring reasonably as well too. So astrologically, that's all playing into this as well too. And so for me, and all this, I've been good. I feel like I've been waiting for like this time, and since we've restarted the show, I've been talking about April. I've been talking about April, May, and this really being that key time. So I'm so happy that it's here, and I can feel that we're on this precipice of it. And that we were talking before the show, and even with what you're speaking about, like you were saying, you feel like something needs to happen. It's going to, just with all the way that everything's been coming up. And so it definitely intuitively feels that way. I'll speak to more of that during my section, but overall, I feel like I've been good. New opportunities have come forward. I know I spoke about it last week. I'm working with a new company doing contract work with real estate photography. I've had one gig come in. I'm still waiting for more of it to flow, but I think it's a really good time for us to look at and see like how far we've come, because, over the last year, you're always looking to grow. I know that about you. You're always looking for ways to better yourself, to better your advocacy. And I feel like I've really worked to do that this past year. And I feel like this is a time to really appreciate that more. So I've been trying to appreciate that within myself just in the last week, of recognizing how far I've come, how much further I've come in my intuitive work and my tools and mediumship and channeling, and how the world has opened up more for me. And I really am excited to see how that plays out. And I even feel like today I had a little, even though you were speaking to lower energy today, I definitely feel like I'm still in a restful state. I'm still in that wintry mode, but I feel like more excited than ever too. And that feels very, very positive, not just for me, but also for my clients and the way that energy comes across. So I'm good.
Things are good, folks. I think we're coming. I think you just said it. We're coming out of that winter hibernation stage. So for those of you, if you're feeling a little under and you're like, "What is happening?" Energy-wise, as a spiritual coach, I'm like, It's okay, because we're peeling off that protective coat from the winter. Even if it wasn't really cold where you are, we're coming out of it, and you want to get back out, and we test the waters. We come out of that state and we're like, how is the energy around me? And I just got chills. So if you're feeling a little groggy, a little lazy, it's all good. So enjoy the moment. So we definitely do. And if you can tell, Wayne changed spaces. He's coming from a different place.
I did. It feels kind of weird. I told Daniel right before we went live, I was like, oh, this is a little too comfortable. I don't know. Maybe you might see me back at the desk next week, but just trying to switch it up a little bit.
I've done it from my couch, but yes, you start getting, especially when it's your turn to do a reading, I start to doze off. All of a sudden we were like, Wayne has left the building. For everybody, this is the Crap and Goat Show. It's episode 14. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. If you're a regular, we're glad to have you back. And just to give you an idea of what the show consists of, we're going to start out with Wayne and his channel messages and pulling some of his tarot cards. Then followed by as a mini alignment. So make sure you have a pen and paper ready. Followed by readings. All you got to do to get a reading, and you can start doing it now, is put me in the comment section, whatever channel you're watching on. Just say me in the comments, and once we see that, the reason we say put me is to give us permission to tap into your energy, and then we promise we'll give it back when we're done. But that make sure that we have you. We already have some people on the list, so make sure that you put your name on there. We're also looking. I know we've talked to some friends, and we've had a couple of people join us on the show. If you're an intuitive, if you're a practitioner, if you're an energy worker, if you are new, if you've been around for a while, if you want to share what you do, drop us a note and whatever you're watching, or a direct message, a DM us, and let us know, hey, I want to come on the show. And we'll give you 10 minutes to come and share and everything you do and promote your work. Part of the work that we do is to make sure that we share what you do. For those of you that don't know the story, and we've shared it many a times, Wayne and I have known each other for many years, and we were part of the Light Nights, which was a mastermind for intuitives, and that's how we both really started our practice. Man, it's funny to see 13 years ago. This is almost 13 years ago, and that's how we started. So we wholeheartedly believe in giving others the opportunity to test the waters and practice their skills and get to know themselves and let other people know you. So you could be here with us talking. Uh, anyway, are you ready to start your?
Yes, let's do it. All right, so let's see. Getting things. I'm hopping around, hopping around. There I am. Awesome. All right. So, some interesting stuff happening, and obviously I spoke a little bit to it, but a couple things to note. So, as of today, Mercury has gone direct. So that is very exciting. The communication breakdowns that are likely to be happening, communication breakdowns, the ex that shows up, the family member that you didn't want to speak to anymore. This has really been the time for that to happen. We're still having about a week of this energy in the, as it continues to go direct, but it really is, it's gone direct now. And so that energy is direct. And then Venus has also been retrograde. We've talked about that a little bit, and it will also be going direct on, I believe, Saturday, if I remember correctly. Yes. So with that, now it's like with Mercury's our communication. So Venus is how we love. It's how we communicate. It's how we get and connect in emotions with others as well too. So with Venus going direct, now this is really our time to be more direct in our relationships, in love. But during this retrograde, it was really about those major issues in love coming up, those old traumas, those old issues that were likely coming up during that time. And what's interesting is, since it was kind of layered with this Mercury retrograde, this likely tied into a lot of ways around how you communicate in your relationships. And again, it's not necessarily just an intimate partner. We love our friends, we love our family. And so us having this connection with Venus and Mercury, it's all about kind of communicating our healthier boundaries. And really, speaking to, since we've restarted the show, 14 episodes now, so interesting, that all of the work that we were doing back then, so at the end of last year, was really around our relationships coming forward. And I feel like these retrogrades were really like the cementing of the major things that we've been through over the past year, and the ways that we have let go of what has no longer been serving us, letting go of those old karmic ties, those relationships, those old beliefs. And this was like the last part of it to like really sign us off on that energy. And like I said, now moving forward, once Venus goes direct, we have a couple other planets that are making some big moves. I believe it's also, I think Jupiter is moving into, or Uranus is moving into Aries at some point this month, or it just recently has. And so there's new energy coming in, especially with it being in Aries. So this really is a time for movement to start happening moving forward, and knowing that there's that forward progress, and that which has been hidden from us, we've really seen all that is there. And now there's kind of just the ramifications that come with that as we're moving forward into our ideal vision of what we have been planting, those seeds that we've been planting. So there is that as well. And then just a couple other things. I like to kind of go through the major planets so we can see what's happening. We're still in the sun in Aries. We have that full moon that's going to be happening in Libra on Saturday. And so during that time, coming up to Saturday, it really is a time. Aries is the sign of the individual. It's the ego. And Libra is the sign of others. It's the sign of society. It's the sign of the world. And it's about bringing balance between ourselves, the ego, the individual, and others. So with this type of full moon, there really is this energy that comes up around, who am I? What am I here to do? What do I want to create? How do I want to enjoy this incarnation, Aries energy? And then you have the Libra energy, which is very much about others, being concerned about others, making sure things are fair. Libra is also the only sign that's represented by a totem that is an inanimate object, the scales of balance, typically when it's seen that way. And so when we come into this kind of balance, it's finding the balance between us and what the world is. And then again, it's relationships as well too. So internally with that full moon, we're likely going to be feeling our connections, and more strongly, again, with all of the clearing out we've been doing with relationships up to this point. So very fascinating about that. Venus is in Pisces, so it has been retrograding in Pisces. It's going to be going direct, like I said, on Saturday. And so when it's in Pisces, again, this is like the unseen things come up too. So this really has likely been a time during this Venus retrograde too for our old traumas to come up, to be addressed, to be looked at, especially with Pisces, because Pisces is about all things that are hidden from us and in the unseen. So those things have likely been coming forward in that way too. And then Mars is continuing forward in Cancer. So that's giving us that like action energy oriented towards family, home, and really about, I feel like it's intuitive, being intuitive right now as we are deciding how we have this traction to move forward with. How intuitively are we connecting with our possible futures, and or I'm sure you guys hear me talk about this often, our higher self or God or the universe. How are we connecting with the universe to say, this is what I want, this is how I want to feel, this is what I want to do moving forward? And so this Mars and Cancer energy is also in support of that and really feeling it out from that intuitive level. So with that said, that's kind of the astrology of the moment. I did pull tarot for the week, and it's interesting because as I pulled it, I was like, oh, it feels like it's definitely an airy type of week. But so looking at today is the Five of Cups reversed. So this is the card of mourning when it's upright. So this is a day, and I think this probably will vibe with Daniel, but this is a day of releasing. Again, it's of grieving what you need to grieve, and maybe it's hard to grieve, or maybe it's coming to this realization. Actually, this is what it feels like more. It's coming to the realization that you've done the grieving that you need to, and if you're coming to the point where the topic is still coming up mentally, but you don't have anything else to grieve emotionally, then let your mind shut it down and say, oh, I'm good. I think I've grieved what I need. I've felt through what I've needed to feel. I've released what I've needed to release. I've let go of what needs to be let go of. So this is definitely a day of more release of grieving and of coming into, I feel like it's just letting things be instead of trying to decide how you want things to be, instead of having expectations. And what's interesting is coming into tomorrow for Tuesday, we have the star. So it's almost like we can have this purging that we're going through today emotionally. And then the moon's in Leo today too. So it definitely adds to a little bit of a dramatic flair for us. And it also can add to that lioness laziness as well too, if we're already in that restful mode, which we kind of talked about. Even though it's spring now, we're still coming out of that winter rest mode that we're really meant to be resting. So for Tuesday, I feel like it's going to be an inspirational day. I feel like this is also us moving into Virgo. So I feel like this is also a really good time for planning, future planning. Tuesday's a really good time to be excited about where do you want to go in the future. And then Wednesday, we have the Page of Swords. So this is a messenger. So it's likely you'll receive a message on Wednesday of swords. So it's communications, it's an idea, maybe a download from the universe. But I feel like it's something that will be inspired from your Tuesday, inspirational, coming out of the feeling of that day into something that can be thought of and created in your mind. Or maybe it's a new belief or way of moving about how you want to move forward. And then moving into Thursday, we have another page, the Page of Wands reversed. So another messenger of its suit, which is Wands. So Wands is creative energy, action, being able to move forward. But with this being reversed, I would say there's likely a slowdown on Thursday of, this idea may come forward very strongly. Oh, I want to do it. I want to do it. But it may take more time than just, that day, that next day, trying to take action with it. Allow yourself to play with whatever it is that this creation is that comes to mind. And this may be, like I said, a belief, a way of thinking, a different way of thinking about your life too, a different way of seeing how your life could potentially feel, think, how you could connect to your life in a different way. And then Thursday, I feel like is that day of like recognizing how can I start to embody this in my life. And then coming Friday, we have the Five of Swords. So it's interesting. We started the week with the Five of Cups, ending the week with the Five of Swords. So that five energy, that is the energy of the challenge. That's the challenge being realized. If it's a battle being fought, that's the battle being fought, is the five energy. The six that comes after is more the battle is done and what have we learned? And then we would travel on from that space. So Friday is a day of looking at what I call collateral damage. So I think this would be, again, a really good time. I'm an advocate for looking back and seeing where we've been, allowing yourself to celebrate what's happened. So this is kind of that looking back and seeing where you at. And so I think Friday is that day that's going to give you some grounding as you're looking back to the past and seeing where you're wanting to move forward to next. And that's so interesting because Saturday, we have the Six of Swords, which is about going somewhere new, having a new adventure, leaving behind the old and only taking that with you, which you're ready to move forward with. So this really is interesting. And again, this is that full moon in Libra, with the sun in Aries. So this is definitely too, like, where's your place in the world in relationships? Again, it's not necessarily the physical manifestation of it, but it is how are you seeing yourself and those new beliefs that you're bringing to it. And then lastly, on Sunday, when Venus has gone direct by that point, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is that sense of what have you worked hard for in the past? And I feel like Sunday is going to help you to move forward with understanding more, how do I step forward? How do I know that whatever I'm doing is creating a value, creating an experience, and then being able to move forward from that? Because it doesn't always have to be about accomplishment. It should also be, what are you wanting to accomplish, and going by those standards, not necessarily by what feels like success or accomplishment in that way. So with that said, that is the week ahead in the tarot, and I think it's going to be an exciting, very interesting week as we move forward.
Excellent. Um, Lots of breaking through stuff, and especially I noticed the 5 and the 5, which for me is always that on the fence thing. Like you can move forward or you can stay where you are. Either way, the universe is going to get you where you need to go. But move forward, folks. Move forward. Don't stay on the fence too much. The song Desperado comes to mind all the time. If you don't know the song Desperado, go listen to it. But
I hear the beginning already. Once you said it, I could hear it in my head.
Yeah, there's a part of the song that says, "Why are you standing on the fence?" Like, that's we live on the fence sometimes. Thank you, Wayne. For everybody, we're about to start the alignment. What's your barrier this week? What is holding you on? And if you've been part of the show, we say this every show. Wayne's channeling and the cards, use that as a connection. Use it as a add on to it as you go through. If you are indecisive, if you don't know which way to direct your life, use those messages to guide you in the direction that you want to go in your life. And add the alignment to it when you get to those fences to help you break down the barriers. So we are your GPS, per se. We don't just tell you where the traffic is, we tell you how to get around it. Ooh, that was really good.
I love it.
So Wayne's gonna go in the green room so he can work on his alignment, and pull out your pen and paper and get ready. So what is your barrier? Let's start with that. What is your barrier this week? What is something that is blocking you from moving forward personally or professionally? And once you do that, I'm also going to put this down here. Make sure that you are putting me in the comment section so you can be the next one on the reading. I know we had one person already waiting. So Stephen Rios, if you're still there, you're going to be the first one up. So don't go anywhere. So what's your barrier? What is your barrier? And number one, first word for the day today is patience. Let's be a little bit patient. And interesting because the conversation today was about energy, and we were both talking in the pre-show about where our energy was, and we're like, if we cut early, we're good. It's like, hey, but the universe is like saying, be patient. Things might change. Something else might pop up. So be patient, folks. As we're coming out of the winter haze into the spring, just be patient. Because remember, April showers, so things may not be flourishing the way that you want yet, but that's because they need a little bit of this rain to grow. Word number two is creativity. So as the universe is telling you to be patient a little bit, get creative. As once the showers end and the flowers start blooming and you start walking through your garden, how are you going to use everything that's growing? And flowers are metaphorical for things that are growing in your life, obviously. So how are you going to utilize everything that's growing around you, be it personal or professional, be it mental, physical, or spiritual? How are you going to utilize this? And while you're being patient and sitting back, and let me assure you, patience is not one of my good friends. Let's get it done. Number three, serenity. Oh man, I just had, for those of you that follow the show, I had therapy earlier today, and we were talking about finding the serenity. Side story, and this will make sense. The house my parents lived in at the ranch in Mexico is being torn down to build a new home, and I was having emotional connection to that. I was feeling very emotional in therapy because thinking about the ranch and when I used to go there used to bring me so much serenity. And knowing that it's being destroyed, I felt like that serenity was going to be destroyed. But my therapist was like, that serenity lives in your head. It's not the place, it's the serenity. So maybe your serenity, maybe our serenity this week is in our creativity. So maybe in being creative in any way that you can. Not everything creative is about art. It's about painting or singing or sculpting. Maybe your creativity is editing a video. Maybe your creativity is putting together a new yoga workout, whatever it is, and be patient, because people may not approach you right away, but people will come to you. Word number 4. We've had this word before, and maybe as we're coming out of the winter, anger. What's the anger that we're holding on in our hearts? Our heart is where everything falls first. Everything around us, people, places, and things, all that energy comes here. So, and we discussed this at the beginning of the show, because things are not working out the way that I want them career-wise, I am holding a little bit of anger in my heart. So I need to find some serenity so I can get creative and be patient in the things that I'm working on. So because funding for a lot of things has been cut, I've had to get creative in the way that I make money. And not everything's going to work right away. I mean, I seem to think that I'm very popular, but not everybody thinks that. So I need to be patient in the way people approach us. So word number 5, communication. Oh, isn't that what we're doing right now? Communication. We need to communicate better. We need, maybe if I want these shows to grow, there's something else that I need to do and I'm just not doing it. But I need to get the anger out of the way, be serene in my process so that the universe can feed me. Because when we're not serene, when we're jumping up and down and all over the place, the universe doesn't know where to land the messages. So we need to find that serenity so we can open our mind and pick the messages. And then I'll get more creative. And I'm sure Wayne is in the back going, what else can you possibly work on? I don't know. There's other things that I could possibly do. I'll find something else to work on. And we were just talking about the universe sending the messages. And number 6 is messages. Am I getting the messages? Because, you know, our vision, our brow, this is into the future. What are we doing in the future? Am I getting the messages about where I want to go? And, you know, honestly, I have been getting some messages. I've just been ignoring them. And I've been being a little bit lazy. And I've been being stubborn. I am totally playing the stubborn card and the, oof, I don't want to. And then the universe is like, you asked for this. Like, why did you ask for it if you didn't want it? It's like going to a restaurant, ordering something, and then just letting it get cold. And then complaining because it's cold. That's where my energy is right now. I've ordered all these things by manifesting them. And then when they got here, I ignored them. And the universe is like, then why did you want them? Why did you get them? Were you not communicating clearly? Or were you ordering these things out of anger? Because you weren't finding the serenity that you needed, and your creativity was all over the place, and now you're impatient because you should have been patient in the first place. So there we go. And then number 7 is my body. And ain't that the truth today? Because first thing I told Wayne when we logged in, I was like, my body, I am not feeling it. Like my body is like, nope, let's go back to bed. I am so ready to jump on my couch and just do what I do when I'm not feeling well, when I'm feeling depressed or just under. My thing is hide it on TikToks, under a blanket, and let my body rest. But sometimes my body doesn't need rest. It needs action. It needs to do something. So putting it all together, I need to be patient and let my creativity come alive. And in there, I'll find my serenity, let go of the anger, and learn how to communicate better to get the messages out to make my body feel better. And by body feel better is feel better whole, my mind, body, and spirit. Or my body is receiving the messages that the universe is communicating to let go of the anger, find my serenity, and in my creativity, I will find the patience I need. I like that one. I need to be creative and finding patience. I've been wanting to write a book forever. I've been wanting to write this script forever. And I started them all. I just can't seem to get where they want. It's because I'm not patient. I want them to just pop up. I'm going to bring Wayne back onto the conversation. I want things to be there. I want to start typing, and a minute later I'm done with the book, and I want to start writing, and 30 seconds later I'm done with the script, and then I want to show it to somebody, and they'll be like, "We're producing it tomorrow, and we have the perfect actors for it." But
sold.
Yeah, but we all know that does not. Even when you turn on the hot water, it takes a second for it to get hot. So, Oh,
Put that on a bumper sticker along with I say this with love.
So, how did this work for you today, Wayne?
It's good. My barrier is similar to what it's been as of late, which is kind of like I said, I'm feeling more motivated now, but I keep thinking like there's so many things I want to create. There's so many things that I have in mind that again, it's exactly kind of how you said it. I wish that I could just like, bloop, okay, boom, there it is, because I have this idea to do, another guided meditation album. I have this idea for a workshop that I want to do. I have this idea for this I want to, and so my mind is just full of all these ideas, and I have been writing it down, kind of and of course, I've said this before, my ascendant's in Virgo, so I like to look at the whole thing and let that whole perspective. So I've done it in so many ways. I have a whiteboard up actually that has some of those realms of what I'm like wanting to do, but I want to do a deeper dive. And I haven't been allowing myself to. So that's kind of been my barrier as of late. So it makes sense, like the patience thing, of course. And it's funny too, because like I want to do these things to create. I also want to get it out there into the world. And then of course I want to be able to receive some abundance from those things that I'm doing too. But it's funny, that patience part, even as that comes up, it's like recognizing that what I want to create, I need to enjoy that more too. And I feel like for me, it is understanding I get to be creative. In what ways am I feeling drawn to be creative? But it's also like having patience when I sit down to do it, because if I'm in this mad rush to like create, if I created all those things and they're probably good, but like it's going to be so much better if I'm in the moment enjoying it while I'm doing it. And I feel like that's only going to make the content of whatever it is that I'm creating, more present and more effective as well too. So I feel like the alignment is helping me to better like lean on the universe too, right? Like I have this great ability of in my meditations and channeling to receive some pretty direct messages. And so I feel like I really do need to take some time to, like, before I sit down to create, like connect more with the universe and ask like, what's the best thing for me to create at this time? What's going to serve me for my highest good, for the highest good of whoever is going to receive what it is. So all of that, with what you said, what shared today, I feel like totally is in alignment and motivating me towards sitting down and actually putting all of that on paper. So I have that there, and then deciding like with, meditating on it and saying, what do I focus on today? What do I work on today? And having that motivation towards it.
Yeah, and for everybody watching, if you missed the cards, remember you can watch this on replay. The picture of the cards will be on the alignment pages. You can find the alignment on Facebook and LinkedIn. Just go check out for the alignment. Those will be there. Plus, StreamYard gives us now clips. So if you go to the event page or you go to the alignment page on Facebook or LinkedIn, you will get clips from the show that we will post. Plus, Wayne has been really, Wayne is our basically become our production guy. So he posts videos of the alignment and of the card readings, his card reading. So you can find those on our pages too. So make sure you go check those out. We got information for you. So for everybody watching, again, if you would like us to pull some cards for you, go ahead and type me in the comment section. Wayne is going to take our first one for the night, which is Stephen.
So I wanted to see, would you be interested? I read for him last show, and not that I'm not happy to read for him because I know it was a good message, but I would love for him to have the opportunity to get your flavor and what messages you might have for him as well too.
Okay, so Stephen, if you're cool, I will pull for you. And then we have Claudia coming up after that.
Perfect.
So talk for a second while I shuffle and get these together because I didn't have it together.
A, B, C, D. Oh, say something that matters. Gotcha. Not just talk. Oh. Well, I'll tell them that while we're both shuffling, I was shuffling to do the weekly spread, and as I was doing it down below, and then Daniel laughed, and so I was thinking that he was thinking that I was farting when I was like, oh no, it's the cards. It's the cards. It's not no, it's not me. But I could see, and he was like, no, that's not what I thought. I was like, well, that's what it sounded like to me once you said it. So
I didn't say it out loud.
Good thing you didn't smell it out loud either, since you're so far away. I mean, it didn't really.
This isn't Scratch and Sniff TV, so we're good. All right. All right, Stephen. So let's take you, and then Claudia, stick around. You are next on our list. Stephen, for you, starting off on your foundation, I have the Broken Heart cards coming up. So broken hearts, physical broken heart, mental broken heart, spiritual. But I feel like we're starting off with a broken heart energy coming towards you. Um, it's interesting because in your today, there is the female energy with the heart. It's upside down. So for those of you, the way that I read energy, it's either male or female energy. That in this case, a female energy could be a woman or a feminine energy man. So there is a feminine energy that is associated with the broken heart. Um, I in your tomorrow, there is the contract, which is upside down, which tells me that something didn't work out the way we were expecting it to work out. Now, the way that I read contract cards, it's three parts. It's either the mental, it's where, and I always use Wayne and I as an example, is where I have meant, like Wayne and I have become best friends, and I mentally am connected to him. This is like promises, like I promise to be your best friend and do it. There is the verbal, where you verbally say to somebody. This is like also in marriage when we do vows. This is and mental is also contract. It's signed contracts. But verbal is I promise to be your best friend, like I am your best friend. And then there's the spiritual connection. This is where just the two souls connect. So one of the three connections, mental, physical, or spiritual, one or of the three or all three, with this female energy, the disconnect that happened that caused us to have this broken heart energy is part of the situation. Now, it's really interesting because I usually go spirit and then heart, but I'm going to go heart first. Because in the heart, I don't know why I'm moving my hand so much today, but in the heart section, there is the male energy with the heart upside down, which would normally represent you. So this female energy and this male energy with the broken heart in the middle, with the vows, with the promises, with the legal stuff that was broken. So something was broken, a contract, a verbal connection, a spiritual connection. So this energy is causing the heartbreak. Now, I just get chills. I feel like it's more spiritual because in your spirit card, there's the female energy and there's the money. And money, the way that I read it, is also three parts. There's mental, physical, and spiritual financial security. Mental is, did I learn anything? Physical is, did I get anything from this? And spiritual is, how do I feel? And I feel like this broken energy, this tearing that's happening is causing your spirit. It's not that you didn't learn anything from the relationship. It's not that you didn't get anything from the relationship. It's just that it's making your spirit feel empty. So heartbroken, male and female energy, losses. The good thing of all this, silver lining, is the storm card is upside down. So some of the harder part of this is coming to an end. I'm going to say this. I feel like we're in the eye of the storm. I feel like we went through some of the, obviously with anybody who knows about breakups and heartbreaks, there's the initial part that's really hard. And then there's this moment in between where things feel good. I feel like we're right now in that everything feels good. This is where, and I'm going to highlight, I don't have a highlighter, but I'm going to highlight, this is where we sometimes think about getting back together. In the eye of a storm of a relationship, we go through the breakup, which is always the nasty part. We go in the middle, we're like, oh, this is also where makeup sex kind of happens, like sex with your ex happens. But I'm going to say, be aware that if you're in the middle, and I'm not necessarily that this is like you're doing anything, but I feel like we're in the middle before something else happens. So just be aware of that. And the reason I say this, because the overall energy is the sun, which is, you are seeing things clearly right now. Because we're in this eye of the storm, things are very clear and you're understanding exactly who these people are, what they're doing, and what they want. You know how it's affecting you mentally, physically, and spiritually. So overall, what it tells me is that this broken heart, which is breaking you down, and we're going through the storms, It's about what are you gaining from it. Be aware of anything that's contract, anything that is legal, anything that needs to be broken. Remember, vows and promises and connections are vows. When I say again to Wayne, hey, you are my best friend, that is a promise that I'm going to treat you like a best friend. And when I break that promise, it breaks the contract, because here it is. There's this feminine energy in the middle. Your contract is between the heart and the money. So there's something there, but things are very clear. I feel like everything that I'm saying, you're like, check, 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 check. So just pay attention to the contracts, the way they're broken. And even though things might seem like, oh, everything's cool now, we're buds. Just be aware. We're in the middle of the storm. So for everyone, I want to say, saludos, hola Jose Ruiz, ¿cómo estás? So just pay attention that, does that make sense? Because I feel like people forget that. People forget that every storm has an eye, and every eye is when things calm down. And it's when we look at anything you break up with, a job, a friend, a relationship, recovery, alcohol and drugs. There is this moment in the eye of the storm where things are so calm that you're like, we can get back together. I can go back to that job. I can have one more drink. And then the rest of the storm comes over, and it's when you realize, like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that. And I know we've had conversations where we're like, yeah, got fooled by the eye. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, knowing Stephen too, it definitely vibes. So I think you'll likely get some feedback, and I'll send it your way. We'll talk about it next episode for sure too.
Excellent.
I think you're definitely vibing.
So Claudia, you're next, and for everybody else, again, if you want to be next, all you gotta do is type me, and I'll leave Claudia with Wayne. Oops.
I'm good to see you again. I know you're with us often. So I have pulled a spread for you. So we'll get right at the heart of the spread. At the heart of the spread, you have the Four of Pentacles, and it is reversed. So when the Four of Pentacles shows up upright, you have this figure who is really looking to, they have their foundation in career, in finances, and material needs being met. Although sometimes when this card comes out, there can be this energy of like, I'm holding too tightly, I'm securing my money too much, and there may be an opportunity for growth there. It feels like this is likely career related and maybe a way in which you've been wanting to branch out. But with that, there is this sense of recognizing that I feel like there's fears around, what if I do this? What if I step forward? And what feels like is in addition to that fear, is it feels like this is a direction that you really do want to head in. But it's there, you have concerns about, if I go in that direction, there's not a guarantee. There's not a for sure way of making sure that that increases your income, or if anything, if there's an increase, it's also that sense of, I feel like there'll be more fulfillment with where you're wanting to go. So with that being said, your crossing card, you have the Five of Cups. This came up for our weekly reading as well too. So with the Five of Cups crossing you, there's a sense of needing to grieve, of needing to let go of old expectations, of needing to let go. And to me, even though this isn't a sword with the thoughts, to me, there's a sense of needing to mourn or grieve the way someone else told you the way you're supposed to do this, especially when it comes to career or bringing in abundance for yourself. There's someone that had kind of indoctrinated you into their belief system and their way of thinking. This can be more likely parents, right? They're the ones that likely, no offense to parents out there, but indoctrinate their children. It's learning to a degree, but then there's also that sense of how much of is their critical thinking that comes along with it, of this is why I want you to do this way. This is why each of those things. So there's a sense of needing to let go of that old way, of the way that you were told this is the way that it works, this is the way that it is, because you're in conflict right now. Your theme card affecting your past, present, and future is the Five of Wands. So you have two fives here. You have the Five of Cups as your crossing card, and then your theme card, the Five of Wands. With the Five of Wands, there's this battle happening. It's just this consistent fighting, no progress being made. And so there's this sense of like, I'm just having to fight battle. And again, this is tied to career, finances, the way that you value yourself, the way that you bring in abundance as well too. So you're in conflict right now. And I feel like, again, you're in conflict with the beliefs that were kind of implanted in you. This is the way the world works. This is the way that you see it. Recent past affecting your present, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is showing that you've worked hard in the past. What you've come up to this point in what you do, you have worked very hard to get there. You have studied, you have practiced, and there is still kind of this lingering feeling of needing to do more or not doing enough, or it's not like you're not doing the right thing. So what is happening to you right now, you have the Four of Swords energy. So this is good because this is a contemplative energy. This person has been out at war. They've been out battling, and they're being able to come and rest for a time. And while they're here resting, they're coming up with the ideas of what do I need to do that when I get back out on the battlefield, I win this war. So you're really in a time and space where I think it's important that you contemplate, what does this future move look like, the direction that you want to head in, the way that you want to grow, and let yourself move in that direction and see, like, what would that plan look like if I was to allow that to happen? Because you are moving towards a better understanding of your connection and really that life purpose of why you're here. This Aries moon, this new sun in Aries, and the astrology that we've just gone through as well too. This is the ideal time for us to really understand, why are we here? Why did I come into this lifetime? What did I come here to learn, to be able to realize? And I feel like that's part of like what you have in your mind, that you have been kind of brought forward with this indoctrination around this is the way that it works, and you're opening up to a different way of thinking, but it is definitely challenging you. And so you're having to see things from a new and different perspective that can be scary, that can be challenging, that can make you see the world in a very different way. But the universe is supporting you through this fight, through this battle, through this understanding, through this mental shifting of your beliefs. And where it's bringing you towards is more of a purpose in your life, and feeling like, I know this is where I want to head. And as you go through this, it's going to have this shifted feeling of like, I'm not sure if what I'm doing is right. I love what I do, to this feeling of like, no, I know this is what I'm here to do. I know that I have the tools that I need to, and I know that I have a passion to continue to grow from learn and grow what it is that I want to do. So with that being said, your outcome card, you have the 10 of Cups. It is reversed, but with it upright, typically it represents that emotional fulfillment, that happiness with family, with connections, with, that emotional fulfillment in all things that you do. And so with this being reversed, there's still that possibility, and it's likely coming into it, but there's a certain way that there needs to be a different shifting of what you expect for your future, what you want for your future, and your future plans. Are they your plans, or are they plans that were made under the beliefs of someone else that has wanted the best for you, but didn't always know what it was that was best for you, and didn't give you all the tools to know those things? So with that, I will leave you. Hopefully that's helpful.
Cool. Thank you for joining us, Claudia. I want to bring this up. Hello, Wesley George Treville from South Africa, for joining us on the show. Since you're new to the show, we're a card reading show. Both Wayne and I offer card readings. And if you're interested in getting a reading from either one of us, all you got to do is type me in the comment section, and we will pull some cards for you. I imagine it is very late there, so we appreciate you joining us. So again, if you would like a reading, all you gotta do is type me in the comment section, please. Okay, we'll take that as a yes. Me, South Africa. We're international now, Wayne.
I love it, and I just looked. It's like it's 2 a.m. 2:48 a.m. his time, so he's like. Hey. Right in it. So Daniel's about to blow your mind, and it's not just because you're probably very, very tired from being up late. He's good at that.
Oh, he's in Cape Town. All right, so I'm pulling some cards for you as I'm speaking. This is how talented I am. Oh, he has insomnia bad. All right. Well, we're glad that you're spending your time with us. Thank you for joining us. And if you like it, feel free to tell people about it so they can join us too. All right. I'm going to put Wayne in the green room. For anybody else who is on wait, so you can put me on the comment section. So Wesley, welcome to the show. So here is your card reading for you. Number one, we're talking about your foundation, or your yesterday. Your foundation, there is the male energy with the coin, and it's upside down. So it's telling me that we're going through some financial troubles. And for everybody who knows the show, when we talk about financial issues, this could be mental, physical, or spiritual. The physical part is money. It's the physical. The mental part of financial insecurities is, am I not learning anything right now? Am I not moving forward? Am I kind of like hit a plateau? Am I stifled for the minute? And spiritual is, am I not feeling anything? I feel that for you right now, it's all about things not moving in the direction that you want to go. And I say this because if you go back and watch the replay of the show, in our alignment section, we were talking about patience right now. So this is your today card. Things are not working out because we want things to move really fast. Now that you've learned, now that you've gathered, now that you think you know everything, you want things to move really fast. And the universe is like saying, hold on, I need you to get some experience first before we move you to the next level. And I say this because in your what we need to work on, this is the fifth chakra, the Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel, the fifth chakra, is it's all about your voice chakra. This is about your voice, the way that you express to yourself and then express to others. I feel like two things. Number one is about being honest with yourself about the direction that you want to go. What is the goal? What is the dream? And what are the steps to get there? Do you have not a plan? I just lost the word, but do you have the steps to get there? Are you sure? And then number two, this is about using your voice. I feel like using your voice career-wise, either a speaker, a singer, an announcer, whatever it is. But I feel like if you're not honest with you, then if you're not honest with you about where you are right now, you're not being honest with the people that are listening to you. So make sure that you are working on those goals. And then in your spirit is your seventh chakra, your crown chakra. It's so interesting because if you go back and rewatch this video, and you will see how these cards are aligning with our alignment section. The messages that you're getting from the universe, from life, from God, they are guiding you in the right direction, but you're being stubborn. And I know you want to do this your way. You want to leave the mark your way, and you will. But for all of us listening to this, there are parts of our lives that have already been designed. There are parts of our life that the foundation's already there. And it's kind of the same for everybody. And then you grow from that. So for you, Wesley, the foundation may look like everybody else's, but it's the way you decorate it that's going to make a difference. In your heart, there is the goddess of the moon. So the goddess of the moon talks about cycles. And Wayne was talking in his section about the cycles and about coming to the end of a cycle. So you are coming to the end of one growth spur to go into another. So the reason that your energy panics sometimes is because you're about to step into a space that you've never been before. And this is for everybody listening too. The reason our energy panics sometimes where we're about to do something new is because we've never been there before. We don't know what the heck we're doing. It's like parents when they have a baby and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, of course you don't. It's your first baby. So for you, Wesley, this project, this thing is your first real baby. This is the one that you want to show to the world. And it's not because you're coming to us all the way from South Africa, but I think that it's kind of where it came from. Like, it's kind of like the Lion King and just was like showing it to the kingdom. You have created this baby that you want to show everybody, and you should feel proud, but don't be stubborn and follow some of the guidelines and rules. Guidelines and rules are there for a reason. Are they meant to be broken? Yes. But for the first, you have to learn them first before you can break them. So some of the storms are coming to an end. And I feel like the storms, again, we were talking about storms earlier in the show. I feel like some of these storms are from that first ripple effect. It's either the storms are coming from parents, siblings, those people closest to you, partners, the relationships that are closest to you. Those are the people causing the turbulence because not because they doubt you. They doubt the system. They doubt the process, so they don't know what's going to happen. So they don't want you to get hurt. And it's interesting because you got 3 chakras in one reading. The third one is your second chakra, which is the angel area, which is your sacral chakra. This is the balance. You are right now, sir, in the balance of understanding that where there is dark energy, there will be light energy. Where something ends, something starts. Where some people have passed away, new people will come into your life. Stay with that. Knowing that, it will make it easier to go to this tunnel and get to the end. So the financial security that you're looking for is coming to you at the end of this journey. Some storms will happen, but so long as you listen to the messages and use your voice, be patient, and you will find the balance that you're looking for. I hope that made sense for you. And here's some of the comments that you were saying. Yes, I am stubborn. Just need to follow the. I'm going to bring Wayne back up. I need to follow the process. Wow, with a lot of O's.
Can I say it was like an emotional journey watching you do the reading and then seeing his comments along the way. I'm like, yes, he's hitting it. Yes, yes.
I kept reading and trying not to stop. Goosebumps. Dan all resonates so well. Good. It's your past. Yes, the past is coming back. Thank you for validating and used to the old West. Yes, the old West and the new West are having a conflict. But if you get a chance, go back and listen to Wayne's reading from the beginning of the show, and then go to the alignment, and then go back and listen to your reading again. You're going to see how all 3 things are so perfectly aligned for you right now. The readings are for everybody, but it just happened that you bumped into our show at 2:00 in the morning. And but please, if you have time, go back to the beginning of the show, watch Wayne's channel messages, do the alignment session, and then go back and listen to your reading. And you're going to see how the universe was waiting for you to show up for these messages. So anyway, so cool. Thank you so much for joining us at 2:00 in the morning and on the other side of the world. I feel so validated today.
You should.
We're on the other side of the world. This is so cool.
Love it.
Do we have anybody else? We don't have anybody else, do we?
We do not.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead. Wayne, you want to talk about your services?
Yes. So if you're interested in working with me on a deeper level, lots of ways to do that. I offer intuitive tarot readings, tarot being my jumping off point, just as you've seen these today. So you can book that either online, in person at Awakenings in Laguna Hills, or over video conference. I also offer energy healings using the Rehu-Tech ancient Egyptian energy modality that I also teach. I'm also starting to offer NLP sessions and been doing more NLP with friends, family, as well as other clients. And the NLP is spectacular for being able to help you shift beliefs, changing, ways of dealing with consistent issues, and then a bunch of other ways to work with me. Space clearings. I just did a dream interpretation for a new client the other day, so that was kind of fun to get to do that. Just reach out. Look at my website, rwk2.com.
Sweet. And if you're looking for card readings, Reiki sessions, spiritual coaching, life coaching, these can be done in groups or corporate events. If you're here in the Southern California area, I can come to you. Just look us up at littlemexicanproductions.com. And then here are, wait a minute, I've just lost what I'm doing. What am I doing? Here we go. You can find Wayne at RWKII on Instagram, or you can find me on I am Daniel G. Garza, also on Instagram. And what do we have here? When I say Reiki, that needs to be done in person. Not necessarily. I've done virtuals. Wayne has done virtuals. I always do like to meet the person. So if I can at least get on a Zoom call just to see you, so we can talk a little bit about what you're looking for. But no, Zoom is a great way to do it, particularly for you that's overseas. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. But yes, if you're interested, just I know I see you on Facebook. If you want to drop a message on direct message on Facebook, I will connect with you and we'll find a way to connect with that. So for everybody else watching, thank you for joining. We're going to end it at 6 o'clock today. But again, if you are interested in sharing your gifts, drop us a message, and we will invite you to come on the show and share some of your gifts. Give you a 10-minute section to talk about you. We get to interview you. Otherwise, we will see you next Monday. Remember, every Monday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Catch us whatever channel you're watching at now. Wayne, thank you, buddy. See you next time.
Thank you.
And everybody else, have a good evening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.